Oh, hello, internet girls, boys, and others. Tonight, I invite you into my world of poetry. Starting with
33. Wisdom hath been removed by a 33rd degree order, and the goods being eaten by the bad who's a treatin', with weapons in sections, lessons in lectures, both in the cut, both in the art. I thought about my wisdom, the bounty, the lack of this in between, a swollen seem to add, dress, I just had out, spoke out from the mouth, these words I want to call wisdom, these words from a mouse. None left of wisdom. Born with sets of many, possibly, wisdom is born with the removal of one by one. She ended up in the corner of the floor, her hands flicking switches faster than eyes meet in the subway on a rainy, steamy morning. Admitting heat through the fingertips like sand falling, crevices, flips, snowflakes, she's shown. Diamond points, unchanged by social norms. She was the disguised high saucer, waiting corner of the floor, her hands warming up for her work aura at the Love Hotel. It sold her, told her, cold her hands were, no more. End of the night, back home, a broken boat under the harbor, she couldn't float. By day she sorted papers to pay her family's supper, a cup of rice if she luck, a neko mama. Her escape between these two hells had her winning lights, comforting her sights, a temporary disembark leading her down to the road too far. She could not look back 'cause the light was faded, her mind jaded. That night of practice, her hands ached like knives shaking in the blender, crumpled to bits of steel, shattered displacements. But she wants something more, a boy watching from the floor. Saw an angel, she forgot, but he was sure. Shaking, he asked her to play around. Blank, she agreed. The agreement which would change fate forever. So they synced in perfect time, like light's reflection. Water tied in knots, now her heart cord cut. A rope, it was love, a new kind. That night she left. What situation would unfold, left only up, death. A beginning to an end to start again.
この人生、いろんな段階、コントローラー、申請、争奪早い。虫はいずれ蝶になる、すぐ覗いてる。人は死ぬのを知ってる、もうすぐ泣いてる。秘密の挨拶、神様作った法律、毎日攻撃的な階段、手の記号33。
Change skipping. Some things that were seemingly the most important can change. Where does our heart live? This moment in my life, like a toy story, Woody left the gang to be a lost free toy. We attach to things in our youth, still honoring and loyal to that with our names on it. Then, the reflection, to see the world, to follow heart, reveals itself through the water. Skipping only lasts so long, and rocks run to the other side, taking our need to keep skipping over. We stare, skipping on. The other side feeling so far away from where we started skipping. Portraying the opposite, but attentive to the opposition, balance has bloomed among nature's way. And on the way, through change, picking up old tosses in the deep of our feet, reminding us we're walking. Where the wood grows, I am. Where the fir falls, I am. When the saints bow, I stand. When silence lives, I sound. Before this, without sun, I rise. After the pinnacle, where shadows of trees still cast, I set. There, diamonds glisten like free jazz, so my ears stare. A clock reads 0, 0, 0, 0. It never changes. A stray cloud and a UFO, as quickly spotted, dissipates. And a purple house on the hill of Twin Pines might not be entered this lifetime. But glorious its view, we can move it closer, wearing the credence of nighttime. Spring, away to adulthood. There came a time when things changed, when spring bloomed and the butterfly stretched her wings for the first time to solar warmth that dried the moisture from the cocoon, when jackets hung outside, desiccated each armpit sweat from the boil of movement so needed, when the plums dried saltier like the charred flecks on skin from a brave forgotten jump into the blue. The deep dark night, holding its cold essence burned from the heat, evaporating like oil of lavender, breeze by the windowsill, leaving an odor, a feeling lingering, soon to be irrecoverable. Oh, it has come a time where art thou know it is now, an unexplainable prediction like seasons, timed imperfectly like rain on the wedding day, the resent to the uncontrollable. Oh, how the time has come, sitting patiently in the midst of traffic for the green light, planning the singularity, unity merge into the one lane, driving, roof off, subtle pollen tingling senses of hope that seeds planted are in action, and all the waiting and watering is beginning to spread its petals. Love me not, love me now, because the time is nigh. The streaming of aqua from the fountain of purity splashes and breathes new life in the blooming valley. From a simple action to begin is to be free, to unknot the wings, butterfly and bee. Limit that needle intake. How do we know it's not drunk if we keep promises? Truth illuminates only what lies cover. What is before that? You have pen on your nose. Can it be smelt? The pungent depth of a soliloquy, or is that simply a mind's job? If hands are crossed, can they take what will be passed to them? On a lone flight with only a threaten to turn home, does a bird keep at the wing, listening to your song? When we intake, eating must be registered. An intake must be consumed knowingly, or no else will the body register correctly. Like a cheap babysitter, a mother who passes an iPad to a young man at dinner, now caught between interaction and supplement, too unwittingly bygone. That invisible drawing. The unknown figure draws upon nothingness, with the intent of creating silently a breeze through a bamboo cunningness. Yet with lines appearing empty, the writer confides. How many times can a sentence begin with no lines to shape within? The serious vein running through my face makes blood question the origin traced. Segregation and confinement, conlinement, with undetectable sources map the courses a pen of an egg and sperm can travel. Far, you write? Your time traveling by devices but construction of trace grounds you founded in an uncrowded space, so the figure of not planned comes into your place.
Flushed out by seeds, an unnatural occupation. Clones that reflection cannot bear. Housecat waits for the food to ring. Bells in the distance, warning the West still exists. She lingers because she knows where to wait. Catch her, bait, the next hour, a rush, messing with time. Not because she wants, but that she knows eventually in line. She can't stop pushing, yet downstairs she's pulling. Flowers, answers, too premature. Comparison too long, dwindling back. The seeds, the sack and the winter is nigh. Life on stepping stones, having longer than she planned. Damning her to grow quicker than the ground. Be ready.
さらなる進化、さらなる未来の進化、必要なのではなく欲しいのです。敬意を持って満足を得るためだけじゃなく楽しみたい。生存、目に見えないものはあなたを傷つけない。闇には可能性がある。そして光は後からやってくる。It's rescuing a waterfall, something that wants to fall in Agapa extolled. So, stopping something that thought itself flowing, picking up what wants to be dropped and left behind. Letting go, the stem of all this loss. Keeping go. Can let keep be sold anymore? What is the best way when half a soul is weighed against its former to battle its future? I gave him the satisfaction of a lie. His charming ways tempt only I. Staring into the mirror, pampering the eyes of the ego. But he was an angel in black, a boy still finding his door, a way out or in. He doesn't know, stuck in the hallway where death lurks. Get out, move through. Don't close your mind, it's already dark. Lights out, don't close your eyes from the fright. Cry, you've died. Welcome to your new life. Your mission? Find your message to share. Don't let the brain win. You've seen minds cry. Too many gunshots echo your visions. Be disturbed only by your demons. Self-expression clicks the rails, same line, different routes. A familiar city that feels like home. No time to play, no time to roam. Making the most of everyday life, so this is what it's like. There is the butter, I have the knife. Street words by the rail poet has a ring to it, don't it? The lost and shiny humans riding to find what was there. Bridge and tunnel, no delays now, sifts through the funnel. And every day I'm hustling. I feel it, the angels. I've seen it, the demons. Her light shine trills, his hat dipped to reveal him. blinded by his best work, looking up before a scene, so the story of God played out before the court. As the apple was bitten, and so love was tasted, drew battles over tides, armies in new ways lasted. And when everything lost control, so order installed in the chips we now flick through, inserted into us since the beginning of it all. Eagle watches over me as rain clouds draw near, a glimpse of life's cycle, the seas they steer. Rainbow colors my eyes behold, reflections in rock pools, wisdom my dad told, echoes with crashing waves. My cave of protection, photographs as a skull, open and closed, mimicking the blowhole. Breathing in intention, exhaling expectation, no distractions, ideas in action. Thunderbird is home, for happiness is present, Dudley Desert Dome, almighty omnipresent. Before our eyes, woken by crows, before our eyes, witness doeth so, bloom borrowing what will be seen open, closed, seem hem shorter for the breeze. Before our eyes wake, we dream. Dreams, they won't leave me alone, beckoning me awake, keeping my sleep alarm switching off. Dreams, holding me in one place, for not as long as I'd like, or painfully extensive. Studying this parallel from far out, one witnesses this organ of dreams as nothing more than a musical instrument, with a madman going behind it between majors and minors, finding the concurrent way to satisfy a moment of temporary explanation for this ever-changing landscape of miracles. It was halfway through the story when the lettuce gets soggy, when the squirrel jumps upside down and rain only patters, when half of the 12 course concurs and half of the fellowship of the ring conquers.
One of you.
When the crustacean is half cut, half dead, and the ice beneath its halved body prolongs the half coincidence. A half smile worn by the server who is halfway through a shift when it is only 8:30. Falling and concerned of bamboo juts sticking out, the groove halfway between the professor's house and the station. Day to day, halfway between sex and prayers, to alleviate clinging of a maggot half-born squirms meekly, ferociously, so a mourning widow halfway through her manuscript questioned his ghost. Did you really not see any contradictions between loving a woman and dying? Having realized she will share half of her life in lonely, bitter resent. We only exist if time does, existing in standstill. Does purpose matter only in time? Is legacy time? A genius is recognized no matter what field, body control, mind matter. Find formulas in writing, a literary formula to hypnotize minds for better. Yet private matters are becoming scarce. It is destined or thought to be. Does thought create reality? If I think it must be true, a personal science experiment, is physical presence matter?
floating in and out of. Yet predestination tells me I landed before I left.
I watched the child from my floating white swing as he ran down to the rainforest. Before time was noticed, he was climbing the fence to escape. Parent on one side, I on the other. He slipped and the pole went through his lower body. He did, turning back as a baby, now in pieces. I watched the mother grieve, running across the oval to the father. I was crying hysterically, all the while witnessing, all the while preparing another set for an innocent play. My job, yet tragic, is crucial for pavement ways, dangling peace of mind as they call angels sign. Online screens have me screaming inside! What is right? What is a lie? Sometimes I forget that the most beautiful part of all is that I can simply breathe my problems out till they crumble down and fall. I don't have to listen to the mental banter, nor participate in the battle of self-hatred type jealousy cancer. We are all putting into the great outside to grow better crops, to feed our life. Whatever path we take will lead us to our answers, no matter what's at stake. The outcome for the great and the fucking brilliant. They're distracting your time with money lies and media files. In a guise, Eminem revival. Greed compiles, like your eyes, soar from screens lined like tiles. Tables and tables to keep you hooked. Your dreams and hopes, they sabotage, they took. Stand in line and submit your dollar. They'll take it anyway, you stamp the number. Do you even realize? Do you even know what powers they take for granted to run this show? Time's ticking towards the end, for they will burn down, they will descend. Quickly, the universe is waking us up. It can no longer fight alone. Us angels here, making an army to fight this world order and bring down the demons of greed and power once and for all. Sorta. It is time. It is coming. We still swag, we still swag, we still humming.
And that was the deal we told you.
So I've been inquiring, to say the least. The son of a pedigree, making slip down a literary. Shade shanks equality to the feverish. Rhyme lighting incense alone. Damn it, vocabulary took the best of the brainer and left sheep in the sleep. Nothing but beehives in the distance, a long life of stings. Heirlooms in place of cloudy, counting rickety fences. Packed cupboards, making cleaner rooms and tape pulls the cheekbones. So everybody can be pretty. When does hiding become enough? When does hiding become enough in a human feeder of the most? Say the most.
An empty page is crucial for the poet's emergency words. Look! I have a lock! It to set myself free. When will that be? Oh, it's wisdom you're after, replied the genie. And through the multicolored tunnel, they kissed lip to lip. Hey, I'm not telling you fibs. You just don't hear the children's truth. painfully muffled. Quick call 911. The dictionary is sick and changing. The ink is about to quit. Will you? Well, that's a pair of eyes we'll miss on the shelf. Books and blabbermouths will require blank sections.
Torero responsibility. Torero take me out, heart and ring. Torero matador, dark night, sacrificing. Glass basin can't hide the contents of your eyes, can't hide the mistakes of your lies. Caused our union demised, precious memories to confessions over phone in dreams. Linked, inked, and unable to return to the sender, stamped with scenes. Our time, it seems, has come to self-destruct. We can't live in this muck no more. O Torero slayed the bullfight, her. Every curse, every setback, every failure, every mistake, every fall, every embarrassment, every cringe, every long fucking haul. Every day, every ache, every tear, every crawl, every comment, every thought, every one I see snort. Every waste, every rage, every burn, every unconcern. Every haunt, every hurt, every foe, every woe will not stop me waking up to give it one more go. No accelerating beans for me. My spreadsheet full of stocks and gimmicks. I can see through the clouds, even on the dullest haze, where my ladder will land, where my guys will fall away. This cool, warm wind suits this hot, warm tea. My mild old spice blows ancient old breeze. Weak mother, stubborn cleaner. Can this wipe happen any sooner? I want to go back to the metaphors and peas. Beneath and above these spiral-hugging meter feeders, I can see it growing, horizon of trees. Tell me what they have to say, eyes on the prize cake. Comparing never got me here, or maybe it did, but by a scare. And what do I say to that? A raw. Tossed, turned, ironed out, doubt, mother's touch, 500 meters away. Experience lived by trauma, trauma-derived happiness, the constant jump rope, tricked, picked, shot, stick, devoured, darkness, twilight, dive. Ramming uncharted triumph, blowing in all directions. Sections beat down, bashing home, stolen beams in brick cone dwellings. Left with some dreams in the Vatican. Almost ready to run the hole, to ship off tomorrow, returning yesterday. Just a name on a blank sheet, just a steam train emitting heat. But a job that keeps us going round the bend. She keeps yodeling till the cows come home again. An indicative persuasion to scull the rest upon the soul of mother's breast. She lies with poison arrows, messages mocked flocks, sparrows. Grain delay on summer fields, words yet wrote, actions yield. Symbiosis between robot and man, between nature and nothingness plots plan.
Thou not set foot in Noah's ark, alone in ratings line hierarch. She'll contest after dark, in race for the throne. Claiming desert rings wolf moan, she cries, she cries. And oh, what spies leech your womb, telling of what you are too soon. Will you listen to them, take willing hand? After all your life, in high demand.
I wore no black to my funeral, but after the ceremony, I concealed tears down my cheek with a single black scar. Sawed to pieces, a part of me, deeply rooted, hiding my pain.
Crying because I was, crying because I did, crying I am because I know I did.
Flashbacks to beaches, European summers, flashbacks to Asian paradise, wishing where I wasn't. Surrendered to death again, but trying temporary. For the death of the old me was all that is left behind, in pieces, surrendered. Promises now as a new leaf has turned. Promises now, for I take responsibility for this new and greater life I wish to have, not have, but deserve. For I am worthy, and I am ready to change my karma and fulfill my greatest wishes. This is not a sad poem, but one to celebrate pain. For it's all-round pathetic, draining, lonely, blaming, bullshit, true, this, that crap, loss, gain, jealousy, hurt, pain, pain. Oh, pain. The symbolism of the truth holds our greatest wisdom, rooted in long life, boned to our experience, a stain, a taste, bites of words pass through our teeth, explain our hurt, so when we lose our part beneath, we say, good riddance, it's farewell, and thank you, white shell.
Tokyo leaves, staying on, until the death of the bulb, changing the flickering patterns, takes itself less seriously. A boat ticket trades, a crowd rides trains, routes of directions where the safe are favored soon crave dangerous mobility. To fall off, to cry, because stuck in itself is an arrow piercing where it should have flown. Fast, future town, flying with an unrevolutionary figure, death waits for change in exchange. Early or late, the sunlight will leave you quicker, hurrying to the next park. But their leaves stay on, fool. Warm winters increase the play tendency, so daydreams increase, fish swim closer and stomachs grow fuller. The leaves in a bunch, they wait with snapshots ready to capture the fall. Innermost government mistakes, masked by celebrity drug scandals. They fall while the leaves stay on. Then they leave and wander wherever, watching why the leaves temper it, and the warm November reminds them to leave, but they keep staying onto the Tokyo glue. This next one is dedicated to prayer. I began to chant. I began to listen. It began to storm, snake silent hissings. It became apparent courage was missing, kissing myself. I was. Every breath I missed, I crossed. The beads between my hands, palms, toes, clenched sand. I began to let go. I began to rise up. I began to see the earth like a child growing up. Struggles with temporary solutions, temporary struggles in temporary bubbles that were only temporary until they burst. Like earth that birthed, like you that surfaced beneath, like drum hit, vibrate frequency. Interestingly, a sheep remembered its lamb, so forth, quest back. I began. My last wisdom on the countdown, my new reality counting upon in this land of plenty. Napkin on a folded door, cleaning up what's owed is more. And the songs I have for you I might keep for myself. After the rest, they will be heard with the trophy on my shelf. And I'm preparing with anti-pro techniques for the extract, yet this is bigger than what the normies perceive. For this procedure spits down the sink all the old lessons, making way for the better hints. Since 33 floors up, there's only one way into this club. Thursday.